Cameroon isn't low on food. This country is often referred to as the granary of Central Africa. The case of the Mufundi market at the center of the capital, Yaoundé, is quite telling. The stalls display all sorts of foodstuff. And yet, despite this overabundance of food, there are children suffering from malnutrition. It is not just about money. It is also about people's ignorance about the nutritive value of food. To get a better look at the situation, we need to stop by at the Gyneco-Obstetric Pediatric Hospital of Yaoundé.
2.65 kilos. Oh, perfect. Because when he came out, he was 2.42 kilos.
Every day in the pediatric ward, there are consultations for outpatients.
3.75 kilos.
Children's good health is determined by checking all the parameters that might indicate malnutrition. This renowned hospital is specialized in the treatment of mother-child issues. While everything might seem just fine with outpatients, we have seen severe cases of malnutrition hospitalized here.
Donc, je pense qu'il ne s'agit pas d'une sténose du pylore.
She's 13 months old. When she came here, her mid-upper arm circumference was 9 centimeters. That alone told us it was a severe case of malnutrition. We also weighed her when she came in, and she weighed 4.9 kilos. We managed to feed her F75 milk, and she's developing well on that front. She went from 4.9 to 5.32 kilos. In just a week, it's a great nutritional evolution.
Dr. Messina is the head of the Pilot Center for Therapeutic Nutrition at the hospital. Saving children is her priority. And day after day, she wants to know the reasons behind each case of malnutrition.
Sometimes you have children that eat a lot of manioc, so there isn't any dietary variety. And sometimes the problem is ignorance. Sometimes it's unavailability. And then there's a problem of poverty. When we investigate, the parents, especially around Bafia, tend to be farmers. They often only have manioc and cassava leaves.
To treat these children, fortified food must be used.
As you can see, this is ready-to-use therapeutic food. It's consumed by children from 6 months old upward. We use it with all the children suffering from malnutrition, without any complications. It's full of peanuts, vitamins, zinc, a little milk, a little sugar, and a little salt. When she came in, she weighed 16 kilos, and now she weighs 19 kilos. Good. So she put on 3 kilos in 2 weeks.
This 2-week-old baby has lost a quarter of its weight. Fortified milk, in complement to its mother's milk, will allow it to recover in a matter of days. Dr. Messina handles about 600 cases a year. In Cameroon, 6 children out of 10 suffer from malnutrition.
When a child comes in, we start by grilling the mother to find out what could have happened for the child to become malnourished. And once we've figured that out, we try to educate the mother, the parents, so that it doesn't happen again. Once the child is healthy again, we talk to the mother about what food is available where they live. Are all kinds of food available? Does the mother have access to proteins? And what kind? What kind of carbohydrate? What kind of lipid? And we try to educate the mother depending on what is at her disposal.
Educational meetings are organized at the hospital twice a week. Mothers come for advice on the hygiene, diet, and health of their children.
Can the child become ill? Can they become ill from this food? Start by protecting the child at home, and then keep protecting them thanks to shots.
The expanded program on immunization offers free shots to children up to 11 months old. Among others, BCG, polio, DPT, Hep B, and vitamin A. It's also an opportunity to check up on the child's growth. In Cameroon, a kindergarten school day lasts from 7:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Most schools do not have a school canteen, so the parents must provide their children with lunch. What can be found in their bags often does very little towards a balanced diet. Bread, biscuits, soda, candy, a lot of sugar, and a lot of flour.
It depends on what each parent can afford. If the parent is well off, he can give them spreads of bread, fritters from the bakery, yogurts and soda. If the parent doesn't have enough money, it will just be a 25-franc fritter. What matters to us is that the child has something to eat when it's time for the snack. We don't care beyond that.
It's during the school year that most cases of child malnutrition are recorded. At home, children and adults share the same meals, despite the fact that small children need a specific diet. Today, this mother is cooking a mix of potatoes and black beans with palm oil. This meal is good for everybody, no matter how old they are. But it isn't the case every day. When the meal is not balanced, this 2-year-old eats the same thing as the 15 other members of her family.
Evening, Moms. Evening. Tonight, we're having an educational meeting to study food stuff in order to know how best to feed our families, especially our children. You know that most of the small children that die in Cameroon die from malnutrition. Tonight, we're going to talk about what we grow in our fields, so you learn how best to use what we grow ourselves for a balanced diet. cereals and tubers.
The quality of the food is at the heart of the work of Catherine Dité. This dietitian has advice and recipes aplenty for an audience full of young mothers desirous to know a little more about the food they eat. Catherine Dité talks about every food that is eaten in Cameroon, energetic foodstuffs, proteins, vitamins, mineral salts, and of course fruits you can pick yourself, which have been abandoned in favor of more refined food.
Don't forget about our friendly village bugs. Grasshoppers, termites and caterpillars are also high protein. And from now on, you will know how to feed your children so they grow up to be strong, healthy, smart, and good at school. A malnourished child will not grow properly. Their brain will not grow. They'll never be smart, even if we have the right food. Isn't that a shame? We don't know how to use the food God has given us, all around us. We always think that the best food is in our neighbor's field, when we actually have everything we need. I think that you've learned enough tonight that you won't make the same mistakes again.
Whether rich or poor, it is possible to give your child a balanced diet. It's a matter of education that rests on a good knowledge of local country food.